Well, thousands of years ago in 1978, I was in the fourth grade, and I was the youngest of four kids. And on my cool continuum, on one end was summer vacation, and on the other end was recess. Somewhere a little closer to recess was Wednesday afternoons. And Wednesday afternoons in my school district meant a half day off every week. And when I was in fourth grade, it turned out that I was pretty good at not setting the house on fire. Was pretty good at not falling out of trees or off the roof, and not causing catastrophes. And but my brothers and sisters, who were at the local high school, would occasionally have a kegger at our house on Wednesday afternoons when they had a Wednesday afternoon off once a month. Now, I was kind of used to this happening because both my sister and my brother were both very athletic and handsome and popular, and there was often enough a crowd of maybe between 12 and 20 people at our house. But this one particular day, I came home on my Wednesday afternoon off and was thinking, "Damn, there are a whole lot of cars down the street from us." And yeah, that's because there were about 40 teenage kids from Conestoga High School who were parked up and down the street for the party at our house. And I got off the bus and I heard that party before I saw it. And that was kind of unusual because usually it was just a handful of kids in the family room. People were all over the front lawn. They were in the backyard. They were up the driveway playing basketball. And man, and I even noticed there was a half keg in our front yard, which I thought was a little bit bold. And whereas there were used to be hands full of people that were there that I knew over the years and recognized from my brothers and sisters' sporting events and things, there were all kinds of people around that I just didn't recognize, and they were in my space. Not only were they in my space, but at the end of the driveway, we had a basketball hoop, which was regulation height. But then there was also the one that my parents had put up for me at about 4 months ago, the previous Christmas, because I was a little guy in the fourth grade, couldn't get the 10-foot hoop so well. And what I noticed with this basketball hoop was that it had been ripped off the post and it was just busted as could be. And I, having been the youngest kid in the family for a while, knew how to stand up for myself, walked up to these athletic teenagers and lit into them with every word that my brothers and sisters and I had taught me from my taught me of my Anglo-Saxon vocabulary. And the guys who were at the top of the driveway who ripped my basketball goal down said, "Yeah, sorry, man, we'll take care of it." But it was so ripped up that I knew they weren't going to take care of it. I was PO'd. I went inside the house, past a bunch of people that I knew and didn't know. I went back up to my parents' bedroom and slammed the door shut, locked the door. Mom and Dad were at work, and my sister and brother were knocking on the door saying, "Hey, don't tell Mom. Don't call Dad either." I had been to these parties before, and I was kind of proud with how well I had done as a fourth grader at these high school parties. At least I just make a little bit of contact with folks and then move on. But man, I was pissed off and I wasn't opening the door. My sister tried to come in and comfort me, and I'm like, "Nope, not letting you in." And I said, "I'm gonna call Mom and Dad." So when I picked up the phone, here's something you have to know about the way phones used to work. There was one line coming in the house that was hardwired, and there were 3 phones in our house, in the master bedroom, down in the kitchen, and down in the family room. And all you had to do to screw up somebody else's phone call was to pick up that phone and maybe hit a number or 2. Meanwhile, I pick up the phone, I start dialing Mom's number at the office, and because somebody had already entered some digits to the phone number, I couldn't get through. And but they figured, I have foiled him. but they walked away, and you know, I got this automated message that was like, the number you dialed doesn't exist. Meh, 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 meh. And then it switched over to sort of a busy signal kind of a sound after a while. Ma, 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 ma. And then eventually it went ba-boom, good old familiar dial tone. Called mom at her office. Mom, there's this big party at our house. There's a half keg, and these kids ripped down my basketball goal, and you know, and mom's like, don't worry about it. We're on our way home. We'll be there in a little while, but just stay up in our bedroom. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, the party raged on, and the assholes who ripped down my basketball goal were still having a good old time drinking beer and playing games and whatever else. Um, at that point, I was just kind of like, you know what, to heck with this party. Uh, I climbed out the bathroom window on the second floor onto the top of the roof that was over the porch where a bunch of people were hanging out. And I grabbed a trash can on my way out, and I waited for the right people to come down underneath me. And I emptied that trash can out over the top of them. Now, in our house, 6 people, 2 female, 4 males. Guess what came down, raining down on top of the guys who were there? And when I saw them scatter like roaches in bright light from like the one tampon that was in this big trash can, it got me to thinking, there's another window over here, and I know where there's a box of tampons that haven't been used yet. So I got my mom's box of tampons and threw them out the window, and they came down like rain. And you know, any of the guys who were still around just scattered with a whole bunch of girls who were just kind of giggling at nothing. And after a while, not my mom, but my dad was the first one to come home. And I remember him lighting into those teenagers. And one of the classic dad phrases for me was, "Now there is no excuse for that." You know, lighting into these teenagers who ripped up my basketball goal. And I was like proud of my dad. And I might have not have been welcome at any of the other parties that came around over the next year or so. But I'll tell you what, telling my mom was worthwhile. And my sister every now and again tells me, I was so proud of you, the way you lit into those teenagers who were twice your height and 5 times, with all the nice Anglo-Saxon poetry that she had taught me when I was in kindergarten. All right, folks, thank you.